Okay, so here we have a Volkswagen Golf 2008 model. Just picked it up. A couple of jobs need done for MOT. Sills need sorting out. Other than that, tidy car, 1.4. Hooked up and ready to go. Interior's clean. Been looked after. Showing 109,000 mile, I think, something like that. Clean and tidy, no frills. It's just an S model. Parcel shelves on. Tyres are good. Happy days, dilly dilly. Oh yeah, snow foam time. Yeah. Just awesome. Awesome it is. Right, so a bit of an update on the Golf. So on the MOT failure we had drive shafts, front left, front right. Yeah, the boots. Happy days. Love drive shafts. Windscreen washer. In fact, is that the inners or the outers? Constant floss. Yeah. Both outers. So that's alright, I'm happy with that. What else we got? Windscreen washer, yeah, that's an out. Parking brake, yeah, I'll check all the brakes, pads. So really, shock absorber, pain in the butt. Front one, so I've got to renew that. And then the sills. And we've got a tyre worn close to the legal limit near side front. So yeah, so looking at the sills, that's obviously been picked up for welding. I know it's not structural, so I don't know why they put it on for MOT failure, but it's just an outer skin. So this here, what I'm planning on doing is put the sill stone guard up to here. I'll just put some masking tape, maybe follow that line round to there. So that'll be fine, because I'm not going to try and blend it into the car and get the right colour spray and stuff. That'll just be, it just won't work. So here we go. Yeah, you see that big chunk of rust there, so that'll have to come off. And it goes right under the inside as well. Yeah, even up there. Yeah, so it's eating its way up. But what I'm going to do is just spray it with a stone guard up to there. And then for this top bit, I'm going to put some, once I've, primed it and got it nice and smooth and filled it. I've got some, what's it called? Carbon fibre wrap. So I'll just put a strip of that down there and it'll just look like a doll strip. So I'll do that on both sides, even though the other side doesn't need it, but it'll match it up. So this side isn't too bad, there's a little bit there but again it'll all get sprayed because it's going black rather than the same colour as the car. Again, a little bit of coming through there, you know, it's just the common area, same as last one. And again, I'm going to have to bring this up to here as well. Whatever I do on the other side, match it on this side, otherwise it'll look odd. Needs new aerial, standard. That wiper there is an original and it's a Bosch, so that'll go onto Alex's. And what I have got in my box of tricks, love my box of tricks, when I do find it, I have got, there we go, I ordered 2 aerials because I just know they're going to need replacing all the time. So I might as well just put that on now, why not? Let's unscrew that out. Screw that in. It's a little beasting one, a bit sporty. Look at that. That's what we're talking about, guys. Just sorted that right out. Ready for sale. Dilly dilly. Doesn't use much at all. Okay, so here we have the Mk5 Golf. Known problems with this is the sills need doing, and we've got 2 drive shaft boots to do as well, which is all it needs for MOT really. There is a slight chatter on the engine as well, so I think it is only running on 3 cylinders at the moment. I did wash the engine bay down a couple of weeks back, so that may be the problem. However, I'll plug it into VCDS, check for any electrical gremlins, and we'll take it from there. Let's get to work. Okay, so got it plugged into VCDS, so I'll just switch the ignition on. Turn the stereo off with the fan. Then I can go into VCDS and just run a diagnostic check. First thing I'll do is just check any engine faults, and then I'll do a full scan. The reason for that is I can already start and think about what possible problems there could be if there's any engine fault codes. The engine management light is not on, but that doesn't mean to say that there's no fault code stored. Okay, no communication with the ABS brake control module. No, that's it. So I'm just going to clear that fault code and see if it actually clears. Yeah, it has. So it must have just been a gremlin, that one. Oh, well, I'll take it for another test drive once I've read all the fault codes. Okay, so let's do a full scan and see what it comes up with. Okay, so while it's doing its full scan, I'll just pop the bonnet in preparation for checking the cylinders to make sure they're running on all 4. And I'll get back to you once this scan is completed. Okay, the scan is complete now. We can see there's a lot of fault codes here. So what I'm going to do is clear all the fault codes, and then I'm going to take the car for a quick test drive. And then I'm going to bring it back in, plug it into VCDS again, and then re-scan to check for any existing fault codes. It just gets rid of any ones that may be historic within the system. Okay, so we'll clear all these. So the system's just clearing them all now, going into the modules and deleting all the fault codes. So saying we've got one left that I can't clear, which is electrical fault in circuit, ignition switch, ignition switch, ignition switch. Terminal 15, so that could just be a fuse. No, there isn't actually any steering wheel controls, so I'll just have to investigate a bit further as to what that problem is, but looks like a terminal 15, which is normally related to a fuse. However, I'll have a look into that. Dilly dilly. Okay, good morning and happy Sunday. So we're continuing with the Mk5 Golf, the 1.4 on the 08 plate, the grey one. So yesterday I done the scan of the fault codes, cleared all the fault codes, took it for a test drive, and I've still got one fault code existing, which is down to fuse 15. So I need to just investigate that. So the majority of all the rest of the codes have now disappeared, so that's great. I've got no engine management light on the dash. So this is the MOT certificate that I was given with the car. This is how I come to buy it, because it had failed MOT, and obviously the current owner wanted to get rid of the car. So let's start off with the top then. Parking, braking efficiency less than 50%. I've actually had the back wheel off before on this, and noticed that the rear caliper is jammed, so it does need freeing off, so that'll hopefully sort that problem. So drive shaft constant velocity, so basically that's how the drive shaft boots are split. So I've got new drive shaft boots here, one to put on this side of the drive shaft and one to put on the other side. The windscreen washer provides insufficient washer liquid. I sorted that, it just needed topping up. So that was a simple fix. Parking braking operative on one side rear, offside rear, which is this one. Yeah, so that's why the braking, so that's combined. Shock absorber has a serious fluid leak near side front, which is this side. So it needs a shock absorber replacing, and the sills basically, and then a monitor is the tyre on this side as well. So I've got to replace the strut, so I've got a second-hand strut. So it's basically that's waiting inside. Yeah, that's where the filled MOT. So on this one, you can see when we lift it up. In fact, you can just see all the oil. Yeah, so shock absorber's filled. So I'll replace the whole strut, which makes life a little bit easier. I don't have to start compressing springs and stuff, which isn't the end of the world. But yeah, so it'll be a simple bolt-on, bolt-off job this, to replace that. The good thing is, once I've got this off, the spring's okay on this one. And the reason I'm interested in the spring is that Golf there failed MOT on a front spring. So by me purchasing this second hand, I'm going to sort two jobs out on two different cars. Yeah, so that's a bonus. Yeah, and we've got the other drive shaft boot there to do on this side as well. So I'll get these mechanical jobs done, and then we're down to sorting the sills out. So I've already started pulling the paint off, if you like. Which come off quite easily because it's all rusted. So we've got rust there. It didn't fail on MOT on this side for anything. It was okay. We have got a bit of bubbling here. But other than that back bit, that sill is actually no problems at all. It's this one where it failed in two places. So clearly there, you can see where they've chalked it off. So that area there, which needed sorting, failed MOT for that. And at the back, again chalked off there, similar to the other side really, where it's just rusting. Again, I just find it bizarre that they actually fail the MOT. So if it's not a sharp edge, then it shouldn't be getting failed, because it's just an outer skin. It's nothing to do with this. It's, you know, the main structure of the car. But we can also see in there I've got a lot of bubbling transferring up the arch there as well. But again, these are going to get sorted out with my GTI plastic strips that I've got on order. These are going to get fitted to both cars, but I'm still going to make the sills sound. They will just be covered with the plastic trim strips. So that's it, bit of an update today. So I'll do some videos as I'm going on with the CV joints with the use of my new tripod. and show you how we get on with them. Another thing on this, when I've took the wheel off, it needs new discs and pads. Always need new discs and pads. I'm never that fortunate like with most cars that they don't need doing, but these ones do. They're just way too bad. I mean, look how thin the pads are. You know, they're more or less down to the metal there. So yeah, totally worn the discs as well. So for what it costs and what I got the car for, it's worth just changing them. It's another bonus point to put on the ad when I come to sell it. Right, I'll crack on stripping this wheel station down now so we can get to the CV boot and get that replaced. Dilly dilly. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the brake caliper first, which is the first thing we need to do. Obviously, once we took the wheel off, to get to the CV joint. It's this which is split here, so you can see the dirt coming out the bottom there. So that's why it's failed MOT. It's no longer holding the grease and stopping any crap getting in there. So we'll see there that I've popped in my 8mm Allen key into there, and then I just tap that with the hammer, loosen that off. Yeah, and then do the same. There is another one on the bottom. There's a cap on the bottom as well. There should be one on the top, but it's obviously missing. You just peel that cap off. Gives you access to the Allen head. Yeah, so once you've cracked them off, you should be able to wind them out relatively easily. Very quick and simple job when you're doing pads on any car really. It's surprising how much the garages charge for such a quick and simple task. Certainly just for changing pads, and even for changing discs it's not that much more involved. Yeah, so certainly if it's, you know, don't be scared to pick up a spanner. Okay, so I took one of the guides out there, if you like. Yes, they'll get cleaned up and greased as well, because they move. They're the sliders, so basically the caliper will slide on them. So as well as keeping it secure onto the carrier, it also acts as a slider. I'll just take this last one out, and then we'll be able to remove the caliper then. And that's it. It's just, you know, in essence, 2 bolts. That's what holds your caliper on. Take these out. That means you can take the caliper off. And then I'll show you how we push the piston back inside. And then put the new pads on. And then assembly is the reverse of the removal, really. And that's pretty much as simple as it is. So I've got a screwdriver now. I'm just going to ease this off the caliper. So just push it forward like that, and then lift it, push it up. Just it's pretty much binded on because about how far the piston's pushed out, because the discs are that low. The pads are that low. Okay, so there is the caliper removed. I'll just bring the camera around to the other side now. So yeah, so that was it on there. All I've done is just pushed it forward, lifted it up, and that's it. So now I can just pop these off. So take the back one off first. I just click on. So I can take that pad out there, and then I can take the other one off, which sits inside the piston with some clips. And that's it. There's the clips that sit inside the piston there. So that's it. So all I've got to do now is force this piston back. Just using either some grips, or sometimes they're a little bit tight, so I need to use a G-clamp. Just pop the G-clamp in there. That'll push the piston fully back and allow me to put on some new pads then, and then it'll fit nicely over the disc. Yeah. However, we're not doing that just yet. I'm still just in the process of stripping this down so we can get to changing the drive shaft boot. So the next task is two things I need to do now. I need to undo on the centre bolt here, yeah, which holds the drive shaft onto the hub itself. However, if I undo that, and even if I move the steering off to the side, I still won't have enough room to pop the drive shaft out. So normally you've got to undo on the bottom pinion as well. So I'll take the that bottom one off. It's a series of 3 bolts, yeah, and that'll allow the whole wheel hub unit to move forwards and backwards and give me plenty of scope then to pop this drive shaft out the back. So I will just hold the video there, and I'll get these undone, and then I'll get back to you. Dilly dilly. Okay, so just going to show you the bolts I've got to remove now, which is these 3 under here. There we go. Yeah, so remove them 3 bolts, which will then allow me to move this whole unit forward to get the drive shaft out. And then, as I say, I need to undo the centre bolt on that as well. That's it. Dilly dilly. Okay, so if you are getting your pads and discs replaced, as I say, to remove the disc, which I am going to do in this case because I need mine replacing. But again, it's just going down to the labour charges from a garage. Once they change the pads, that's most of the labour done. To change the discs, all you're simply doing is undoing on a retaining nut. In this case, I think it's a T10 or a T12 Torx. You know, they're going to basically undo on that, take that out, and all that's doing is stopping the discs spinning and blocking the holes when you're putting the tyre on and off, doing a tyre change. So that's all that does, because purely by putting the wheel on and tightening it through the bolts holds it in place. So that's all that's doing, stopping the disc rotating on the hub. And then lift the disc off, and that's it. No, there's no lengthy labour task in actually changing discs. So the only extra cost that should be if you're replacing pads and discs at a garage is purely for the part, not for the labour. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Okay, so next will be, as you've seen in the photos, was undoing this bolt and my 3 bolts underneath, and then I can get this drive shaft exposed then, so we can get into actually changing the drive shaft rubber boot. Dilly dilly. Okay, so to take the boot off itself, first of all, I have lots of blue roll or rag. The reason being, you're going to get grease all over the plats, yeah, or all over the place in Blighty. So we've got the compression bands around there, so we just need to take them off first. So just get your screwdriver in, yeah, and then just wiggle it about. Hopefully you'll get that released. You can actually cut them with a hacksaw, sometimes a bit easier. Yeah, it looks like, oh no, we've got it there. Should be able to manipulate that off now. That's it. Okay, so that's the band off. So now it's a case of just pushing this sleeve back now off the actual drive shaft itself, like so. Yeah, there's another band on the back there, so again we can just see if we can just wipe the grease off. Again, just see if we can get this back band off as well. May get a smaller screwdriver for that one. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm going to do now is cut that off. Easier said than done. Okay, that's it. Cut back a bit now. You see, back in there. Cut the whole thing off. Just try and get the thick of this grease off. Okay, so we're at a point there where I'm ready to tap the end of this off. However, I am going to put some new gloves on because they're a bit greasy. Okay, so to get this off, I'm just going to tap this. Release this from the spring clip. And that's it. That's the end shaft off, ready to be cleaned up. Cause we put new grease in that. Yeah, so there's just a compression spring clip around the end here. That's why you just need some force just to knock it off. Then that's it. All I've got to do now is get that other clip off there, and then I can take all the old drive shaft boot off and clean all this up. Dilly dilly.